Welcome to another edition of In the Weeds with Ikard and Lehman, presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind is Oklahoma City's premier casino experience, and there are so many reasons why Riverwind is consistently voted OKC's number one casino, but it all starts with their amazing variety of gaming thrills and excitement. Riverwind's beautiful award-winning environment plays host to more than 2,800 of the latest electronic games with a huge selection of table games, including blackjack match roulette, and Teddy's favorite, craps. No matter what your game, Riverwind has it in spades and hearts. And to learn more about their gaming promotions and entertainment options, all you got to do is visit riverwind.com. Riverwind Casino, good times, great rewards. Time to take a look at a couple plays from Tennessee, Ted.
Let's do it. There's defensively we had plenty to choose from.
There are many options on defense, but this was one of my favorites. And also, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Super thanks down this one of these ways. If you like the content, you know the drill by now. But I thought this was just a great representation of all the things that Oklahoma did well in this game. And the first thing you look at, and this is something we talked a lot about going into the game, 3rd and 9.
Try.
Predictable passing situations, get Nico Iamaleava in predictable situations. And you only get that if you're good on 1st and 2nd down. And what you're looking at here from an offensive perspective, this is just 6-man protection from the offensive line. So that means you've got your 5-0 lineman and your running back. That's 6-man protection. And you look at what OU's got along the line of scrimmage, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you should be good if you're Tennessee. You've got 6 blockers for 6 men. Now, I don't know what you call this, Ted. I've always called this double mug.
Mm-hmm.
2 linebackers walked up in the A gaps like this, and you have to pick a side to declare the protection. So you're either going to send the center left or the center right. And then the back will work to the opposite backer. So in this particular clip, and I'll explain why Cooper Mays, their center, does a really nice job, but they're sending the protection Lewis Carter's way to the left. So that means center, left guard, left tackle are responsible for these 3 for Oklahoma's defense. And that means right guard and right tackle for Tennessee. They are big on Grayson Halton and Trace Ford right here. And then the back would have Kobe McKenzie. So that is the pass protection. 6-man protection with them having 6 up at the line of scrimmage. I think I've explained enough.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. It's just a standard pressure. And, you know, if you see what Kobe and them are trying to do, the center anticipates that they're trying to pick the center here and ricochet with Kobe.
I won't
And
lie. As I watched this, I my initial thought was, "Oh my gosh, that's really good at center." So one of the things when you have double mug linebackers, 2 linebackers in the A gap, one of the most common things they're going to try to do to you as a center is pick you. So the most important thing is to get depth and get off the ball and not take a flat set to where you set left or you set right and the opposite backer can just pick your shoulder and knock you sideways. You set off the ball and with depth, and you don't even need to really pick a side. You can kind of play the middle of the 2. And you look at the way that May sets, and that's exactly what he does.
Mhm.
He sets with depth off the ball. He's got his eyes on Lewis Carter initially, but he feels Kobe McKenzie and he takes him. And then that forces Carter to come around and the back takes him. That's a little something known as pizza. You take mine, I'll take yours.
well, and it's played really good. I prefer defensively to just double mug whoever the center engages. You like give him a couple ham slaps long enough to where your 2-3 techniques are rushing up the field and your other linebacker has a good one-on-one with the back, and then you can drop into a shallow crosser, um, and actually do some work underneath because they're going to be trying to possibly get rid of the ball hot. But they picked this up nicely. If you can run that little pick, you can get the ricochet and get a free guy there. But you usually only have like a couple of times a year that you can do it because once you put it on tape, they're going to be spying it like we saw right here, and it's picked up really nice. What's not picked up nice is the right
Oh,
tackle blocking Trace Ford, and look at this get off from Trace Ford, number one, and then look at that hip bend all the way down, touching the grass. Coach Venables tonight was talking about he's been working on that, and they call it the windmill, go all the way down and finish through, and then he gets that chop on the football. Right here, it looks like he's just kind of reaching for Nico, but in the end zone, you can see that he's clearly going for that chop. Really cool play there, and I'm happy that Trace Ford got this. He's been in a sack drought. This is his first sack that he's had, so hopefully this gets the confidence going, and he turns into some nice production here. And I love Grayson Holton staying alive here. See him? He's staying alive, trying to get to an edge, slings him by, and even whenever he slings him by, you can still see he's still working those hands to stay clear. A little slap down, then rip back up, and go find that football.
that's good stuff all around. If you're Tennessee, you're looking at it going, hey, if we just don't lose at the right tackle spot, this is good protection. But there's multiple factors. It's 3rd and 9. And then when they're showing 6 up and you're in a 6-man protection, you kind of know you really just end up with 6 one-on-ones across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Now it can be a variety of ways. You see they go with the 2 backers and the double mug look, trying to pick the center and to create a problem for him that way. But really, when you think about the 4 down linemen, I mean, it's just 4 one-on-ones. That's what it turns into. And if you're a defensive line, you've got 4 one-on-ones across the board. You just need one guy to win. And that's exactly what happens. I mean, Trace Ford wins, and that's all you need. And it ends up in a massive, massive play in the football game. And it's 3rd and 9. So he's got to squeeze it a little bit. He's got to let those routes get down the field and develop. He's stepping up. I like everything that Nico Iamaleava is doing. 2 hands on the football, but Ted, that's just a heck of a play from Trace Ford.
Yeah, it is. And also, what we got here on the coverage on the back end, it's cover 1, but you see the deep safety, Robert Spears Jennings, he ain't playing a deep safety. It's almost like 0, and he's coming up to play the shallow, to be a spy or to pick up any quick shallow crosser for a hot instead of playing the deep third or deep middle like you typically do.
Yeah, you see him creeping. He's not pedaling at the snap. He's coming closer to the football at the snap and ends up in an interesting. I mean, you see him get in the picture.
Yep.
So he's moving forward, trying to take away some of that intermediate stuff, probably somewhere around the sticks, right?
Yep. Yep. And who knows what, probably to help on some of the pick stuff, but they got wide splits and they didn't have any pick availability. So he's just playing that low hole and trying to look for work either on one of the crossers or, like I said earlier, if he's able, you get sometimes the rush goes past the quarterback and he's able to step through and run and pick up a first down. I think it's a really nice call here defensively. It's just a really good job. Everyone hitting their spots, and sometimes it works like that. You got 6 guys coming, and it just takes one guy to win to have a huge play. Look, you see that really cool. Goes for that chop. You see him finishing it with the hand. right there.
Hiya!
Bam. Really nice.
Yeah, this other angle is great. You can also see, I mean, Nico's eyes, to his
Yeah.
credit, you
Downfield.
always worry about, hey, quarterbacks are feeling the pressure, they're dropping their eyes, they're looking at the rush, they're not looking downfield at their wide receivers. That is not the case here. I mean,
No. And
he is.
if you go back to the wide angle, you can see that he shortens his drop instantly. He feels Trace Ford just out of his peripheral vision that he's got the right tackle beat, and he tries to shallow up his drop instantly to step back up into the pocket. So that's just really good awareness from him, but not good enough.
You know, one of my favorite things about this play. First of all, Trace Ford with the shrug. That's becoming a thing
That's the
among
thing.
the defensive end group, the shrug. But he makes the strip, right? Knocks it out. First of all, wins with the rush,
Yeah.
strips it, and then he gives Nico a little seatbelt right here. You'll see it right here. He's like, "You're not going anywhere, buddy.
Uh-uh.
Nope, you're not
No,
recovering that fumble. You're staying with me.
no, sir.
You're staying with me."
I
Great
like it.
recovery from Holton and then full mount from 76. Yep, full mount. That away, Holton. Hold on to the ball. Don't let him get you. Yeah, some great angles of this play.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Awesome.
mean, from a technique standpoint for Nico Iamaleava, two hands on the ball, eyes down the field, stepping up, feeling the pressure. But that is a tomahawk chop right on the football. Not much you can do about that, buddy.
Yep. Well, that's really nicely done. And what a rush. I think that's the best individual pass rush we've seen all year.
I agree. Oh, all right. Let's take a look at our offensive play. But first,
All you tailgaters, listen up. We are now officially in the premium conference of college football, and you expect a premium product on the field and on the grill. That's why you need Didier Ranch's steak burgers to take your tailgate to the next level. Proudly raised in Oklahoma for over 120 years, premium beef this good is hard to come by. Go to DidierRanch.com. That's DIDIER ranch.com. Use promo code Oklahoma15 for 15% off your order. Didier Ranch. Tradition plays better and tastes better.
let's take a look at one of the best plays of the entire game for Oklahoma offensively. And it's late in the game. So there is something I want to point out from the wide view. There's 3 minutes and 5 seconds left in the football game, right? I've heard a few people say, oh, well, Hawkins did it against Tennessee's scrubs, or that is their starting Mike linebacker. That is their starting Will linebacker. That is one of their starting safeties. That's James Pierce, who's going to be a top 10 draft pick. That's their starting corner. That's their starting nickel. That's 90, their starting defensive end. That's 20, one of their starting defensive tackles. And that's 19, who is a starter in their rush package. Any other questions? I don't want to hear it. Tennessee had their guys on the field. I typically, when you're playing in a game, you're on prime time. You're trying to finish the game out strong. Like you can't just say, hey, Oklahoma made some plays late in the game offensively. The Hawkins guy looked good. It's okay to say that. Their starters were on the field. I thought it's important to kind of point that out. One other thing on this view before we look at the end zone. I think it gives you a great idea of just how quickly Hawkins gets the ball out of his hands. Bam, ball's gone. This is one Mississippi, two Mississippi, I mean, ball's out in less than 3 seconds. And I know it's only a three-man rush. I understand that. But this is something, Ted, that when you and I have gone out to practice, whether it was, spring ball or training camp, he has been very good at getting the ball out of his hand quickly.
Yeah, no, he has. And even if it's some of like the turn and fire it to the sideline, he's got this like almost second baseman throw to him sometimes that I really like too. This is a more straightforward throw, but I don't know necessarily if he's got a stronger arm than Jackson Arnold if they just lined up and see who could throw it the furthest, but I think he's got a quicker release.
We'll get
Good convoy
Pettaway.
blocking down the field too.
Yeah. Here's a great, I just think a great view of this play. So first of all, Tennessee's in bear. So you've got head up on the center. You got three techniques. You got a wide five. I guess he's technically a nine, but you got a three technique. Got another wide five. It's bear with the Mike linebacker on the edge. And in this look, typically for a quarterback, bear the majority of the time means you're getting man coverage in the back end. Would you say that's fair to say? That like you're either getting one or like some version typically of man.
Yep. You cover one or cover three. If you're getting zone, you're going to get cover three usually. I mean, you can run anything out of there, but that's typically what you get. Yeah.
So protection wise, typically when you get bear, your five offensive linemen have the five down guys, right? Pretty simple, pretty easy. Block the defensive lineman in front of you. The back will have this guy to anything that comes from this side or off this edge. He'll have typically that off ball backer and then scan for anything else. But I think that you see some quick, efficient recognition from Mike Hawkins here. And the route concept's pretty simple. You're going to get kind of this long over route from Pettaway. You're going to get Brennan Thompson pushing this as well. And then you're going to get this wheel concept from Bauer Sharp and another wheel kind of trailing it from Javonte Barnes. And I think he does a very good job, Ted, of seeing the deep safety. You see his eyes initially. He sees the deep safety. Now, typically, you see that deep safety, he's probably thinking, my long route down the middle of the field is no good. Mm-hmm. So then he gets his eyes to what I've always called it the low hole player. Ted, I don't know what you refer to it as, but this guy in cover one, this kind of I've always thought of, you have your high hole player and your deep safety, and then you usually have someone kind of in the low hole area. I don't know how you describe it, but that's how my stupid offensive line brain has thought of it.
It's usually the plug player.
Great word.
It's like the free guy, but low hole, it's the same exact thing.
But you see that plug player, you see him point right there. He's telling James Pierce, hey, you got the back out of the backfield. Mm-hmm. So you see Pierce, who is one of the premier pass rushers in college football, taking the running back man-to-man out of the backfield. That's one way to do it. But you see Mike Hawkins get his eyes to the middle of the field, to that plug player, and Ted, it may be this simple. I think he sees him slip and he rips it.
Yeah. And, so here's the thing. If Pettaway comes behind the free player underneath and the deep safety sees that his cover guy is losing a step, he may have to drive it. And if he drives Pettaway, that's where the deep post is going to be open.
Right.
So whenever
Thompson's running this.
Right. So whenever he sees him continue to backpedal, he's already won with leverage. Everyone's outside leverage. So he's going to get an inside release. He's really just watching that plug player who slips and that deep safety pedaling. And here it comes. Wham.
And that is.
He ain't open right there. He's throwing him to that spot.
This is just something we haven't seen a lot from Jackson Arnold. This ball is out right now before Pettaway's head is even turned. Mm-hmm. And it is a perfect throw. He puts it out in front of him, can catch it with his hands on the run. I mean, it's exactly where you want it to be. But the timing of the throw, the anticipating where he's going to be and trusting it. I mean, that is, I know the guy slips down. Both of them slip, honestly. But that's the timing you're looking for in the passing game.
Yep.
That does not, to me, that doesn't look like a true freshman.
No, it's good. Yeah, I mean, quick reads, trust the pocket, let it rip, throw it to
Bam.
that spot, and it is right in stride. I mean, there's a big difference between that ball being where it is right there or being on his back hip where he's got to maybe spin, maybe loses his footing and falls down. You got to take advantage. And like if I'm coaching, if I'm a linebacker coach and I'm coaching this free player right here, the ball's on the hash. You got trips into the boundary. You do not at all need to wide. You stay right on the hash. Everything's coming to you. There's no reason to widen out. So as soon as you see him start to widen, like if you've got the time to pick that up, if you're Mike Hawkins, you're thinking, we got him. Like, because if he's moving that way and we're coming across, especially if it's not shallow where he's going to be rerouting, you're going to have that all day long.
I do think if he didn't like it, let's say that deep safety does drive it,
Mm-hmm.
and for whatever reason he doesn't like Thompson. I think the natural rub here, Bauer Sharp's got a chance down the sideline as well.
Yeah.
We have not seen Bauer Sharp really be a threat vertically, but just seeing this one glimpse, it gave me a little hope.
Yeah.
We've seen him work the middle of the field, but we haven't seen him, run past the guy. And if Hawkins got to him here, I think he's got a chance for a big play here.
Yep. And you can see, they're rushing three, and this is something to watch with Hawkins moving forward. The Russian three guys. Why are they rushing three? Well, because they're playing man to man. And you can see the other guy drop out as a spy
Yeah,
because
Peely, they're Mike Backer that's up on the ball over
he's,
Jacob Sexton. Yeah, he's clearly dropping out, and then he's got his eyes on
yep,
Hawkins the entire time.
yep. Him and it looks like him and Pierce are both kind of dropping out, and whoever the back goes away from is going to turn into a
Yeah,
spy guy. But if people are going to play man to man against Mike Hawkins and rush four or rush five, you better get home because those guys are running down the field. Their backs turned to him. No one knows where the quarterback is. If he pulls that down and you can see if there's no spy guy, he's off to the races pretty quickly.
Pettaway looked fast here.
He did.
I mean, he looked healthy. It's not. I thought it. You're our running technique expert. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about
Looks
this?
good. I
Looks
like
good.
it. It's all about that
That's a
lift,
nice arm
baby.
pump. That's a
Yeah.
nice arm pump with the ball in your hands,
You could see
Pettaway.
him
Good
whenever he
stuff.
first catches, he's got like 3 steps of drive phase, and then watch him lift. He's going to the house. 1, 2, 3. Ah, here we come. See that lift? He's trying to get going fast. I like it.
You can see the panic in Carter, their will linebacker, the guy that slips as the plug
Yeah.
player. You can see the panic. Like there,
No.
you run so much faster when you're panicked like that.
So
No.
funny. And
It's a
that was a
really
good.
nice play.
It
Nice
was. It was a
throw,
good.
great timing. Something to build on for this offense.
That's right. That's right.
That was in fact against Tennessee's starting defense.
Bam.
It's just a fact. There's no debating it. Those are their starters. It's a fact. That's all I'm saying.
There you go.
Please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you really like this, you can give us a super thanks. I think it's down this way. And we'll see you next time here on In the Weeds.